It is 6 o'clock on Tuesday, December 23rd. I'll call this select board meeting to order. Please rise if you are able for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty. Approval of the minutes of December 9th, 2025. Did everyone have a chance to review?
Yes, sir.
Any questions, complaints, and concerns?
I have no.
Okay, I make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, warrant number 13. Expenses, $96,019.54. Checks written in series 16227 to 16239. Receipts, $104,273.54. Receipts, 11268 to
That should be 113.
11376. Percentage of 2023 real estate taxes collected year to date is 98.1%. Percentage of 2024 real estate taxes collected year to date, 97%. Percentage of 2025 real estate taxes collected year to date, 71.9%. Which brings us to open session.
Oh. Do you need? Okay,
Only if you want.
no, that's fine. So, I'm the Emergency Management Director for the town of Sumner, and I have a Christmas wish list. So, I'm producing an emergency plan, action plan, which is almost done, and I'll present to the board soon. And going along with that, once you have a plan, you have to have the people to fill out all the roles. So my Christmas list is, I need some people to help out overtime with this plan. And it doesn't take a massive amount of time on anybody's part. There's a little bit of training, a little bit of practice, and most of the time we don't have a gigantic event happen, and so you just go about your normal business, but we'll be ready to handle it. And here's some of the things I need. So I'm the Emergency Management Director, but I'd be good to have a Deputy Director so I can get some sleep if there's a continuous event. And that person would have to get a little bit of training on the FEMA website, but I can explain all that to them. I need 1 or 2 radio operators.
Ham.
Well, they should be able to operate almost just about any kind of radio, because we're not quite sure how many different radio systems we're going to put in place here. Because there could be there's probably going to be CB, ham, GMRS, and maybe some kind of 2-way radio. And I'm not sure what the repeater is that we're thinking about putting up on the mountain, what that's for, but that'll all come into play. I'm also building 3 CERT teams, Community Emergency Response Teams. First one's medical, second one's logging, and the third one is general. Medical CERT team, I have a team leader already, and she also, Christine, and she also has some other people that are going to help me, but we can always use more people in any of these areas to get trained up and be ready when the time comes. Logging, I have one guy says he's going to be able to supply a log truck, what do you call the ones? Grapple log truck and a crew, and maybe I can get more. I would like to have at least 2 teams if I can. And then the general CERT team would be like Ladies Auxiliary or whomever that helps with food, water, cots, people just get general things done. We also have in this plan 15 neighborhoods designated, and there's a map of that in the map here in the office. And I need 15 times 2. 2 is 1, 1 is none. If you have 2 people in each position, like a husband and wife or something, that's pretty handy. But basically 15 contacts. Those contacts in each neighborhood contact the 4 zone people I need to find. So there's 4 zones in town. It's all on the map in there. And they contact the Emergency Operations Center, which is here at the office during an event. So I don't have to talk to 15 different neighborhoods, I just talk to 4 zones. So that's how all that goes, and there could be some help writing grants, some grant money for some of the equipment we need. Anything like that, contact me at 207-381-4127, and we'll work on getting everybody that wants to be involved. That's my Christmas wish list.
A big one.
How big do you want these CERT teams to be?
So that depends on how many I get, for one thing. But a typical CERT team has to have at least 2. Can't go into a situation without at least 2 people.
Yep.
I would like to have 4. Logging CERT teams are kind of their own thing. It's the logger on the truck and maybe 2 guys with chainsaws or something, 1 or 2 per team. And then the general, that'll probably be a little bigger eventually.
So you need 20 people plus your 15 neighborhood people and your 4 zone people. So you need 40 people total.
Fair amount of effort. And
40 or
I
50.
wanted to say that what triggers an event like this is when we think there's going to be at least 72 hours where we are getting no help, but we need emergency help. We need to do stuff right here, right now in the community. If we think it's going to go longer than that, then we really need these teams and such, and then it just becomes self-evident. But that's probably the trigger. Because most of the events, like when we had, whatever year that was, all that flooding, and the roads got washed out, that's bad, and we needed money, and we needed to document things, but that gets taken care of by what we already have. 911 takes care of things, the firemen take care of things, Sean takes care of things, so it's only when it gets really bad. I think that's how we'll designate it. Anything else? Don't be shy. Alright, thank you.
Thank you, Warren.
Thank you.
RSU 10 withdrawal update. We are on step 8. Step 8 is the withdrawal committee shall negotiate a withdrawal agreement in compliance with Title 20 TAC A MRS subsection 1466 4(a) subsections 1 through 13 with the regional school unit board, and shall submit the proposed agreement to the commissioner within 90 days after the committee is formed. The commissioner may grant extensions of time upon the request of the withdrawal committee. Video of the meetings and the meeting minutes are available via link on each of the town's websites. Last meeting was held December 18th, 2025. Next meeting is scheduled for January 8th, 2026, 6:30 p.m. in Buckfield.
So specifically, that January 8th will be kind of held like a normal meeting, but our basic workshop is going to be working on an actual budget. So that's kind of designated as a workshop for the budget. And then the next meeting is going to be on the 22nd, and that should be after we hear from, which will be in Hartford. That should be after we hear back from the 3 lawyers that were petitioning to help. And as far as step 8 goes, that date that we have to have that done or file an extension by is February 28th. So looking at it, it basically looks like almost all the other schools that have withdrawn have a similar variation of the withdrawal agreement, it doesn't seem like. So there's 13 like statute subsections that we have to follow, but it seems like most of them all kind of, I don't want to say copied each other, but they're all written very much similar, so hopefully that won't be too much of a big deal. But definitely the budget's going to be a big one. trying to figure out what is Buckfield, Sumner, Hartford's in each one of the cost centers, so. I had an update.
All right, thank you. RSU 10 report. Mrs.
Okay.
Chapman has sent a message.
Yes, Mrs. Chapman has sent a message here. Since the last board meeting, families of the Mountain Valley region have sought the assistance of the school board and their senators and representatives via email, social media, and news outlets to attempt to restore a prior planned wall of separation for the boys and girls co-ed locker room in the new Mountain Valley Community School, pre-K through 8th grade. So, to explain that more clearly, well, actually, I guess she says this. I'll read what she has to say, and then if I need to add to it, I will make it more clear. So, the January of 2022 floor plans kept the bathroom outside the two gyms and the locker room separated by sex designation. In May of the following year, the floor plans for the only locker room and one communal bathroom located near the two gyms were changed so that the male-female rooms were no longer separate. What was instead built is a co-ed locker room and a co-ed bathroom. This bathroom is what the visiting teams and spectators will be utilizing. So, summary statement. The original plans when I was on the school board, when they first designed this school, had separate, segregated male-female locker rooms and male-female bathrooms. The plans changed. Nobody's identified exactly who's responsible for making the changes, but they turned it into, they're calling it an athletic prep area, but essentially they made it a co-ed locker room, and they made essentially a co-ed bathroom. So a lot of, when people found out about it, they called their representatives, and so the DOE is going to pay in the locker room to have a wall put in to segregate two separate sides. Now, what has yet to come to light is whether the communities will also be able to convince them to do that with one bathroom as well. So, let's see what she has for more explanation here. The Mountain Valley community gathered last week in an effort to mobilize to effect the change they are wanting. Separate male-female locker rooms. The superintendent since decided, after meeting with the Building, Grounds, and Transportation Committee, to erect a dividing wall in the co-ed locker room, and the DOE will be paying for this. The families of Mountain Valley continue to communicate with the board, their legislators, and bring awareness on social media that the communal bathroom near the gyms also needs to be separated into male and female spaces. I reiterate, the original 2022 floor plans, which the voters went to the polls with building design knowledge of, were altered. While the co-ed locker room will undergo a dividing wall renovation after the recent public outcry, there's been no indication from the superintendent that a dividing wall will be built in the communal co-ed bathroom outside the two gymnasiums.
Despite an emergency board meeting being requested and or desired by numerous board members, instead, RSU 10 will hold an informational meeting on December 30th at 6 o'clock in the Mountain Valley High School cafeteria. Per Superintendent Alden, this is regarding Mountain Valley Community School and the spaces that folks seem to be most concerned about. We will plan to have videos and try to have information that is responsive to the many questions we have received. This is not a school board meeting as there is no vote required and they are already moving forward with the wall in the athletic prep area. This is an informational for the community. Unquote. Deb Alden. Okay. If your children will be affected by this, or if you as a voter and or taxpayer wish to participate in this discussion, please consider attending the informational meeting out at the Mountain Valley High School cafeteria, second entrance, at 6 on Tuesday, December 30th. You can also email the board your input. Emails are located at rsu10.org. Click on the school board tab. That is all.
I'd just like to point out that the main moderator was at the last withdrawal committee meeting, and there is information over on the board there if anyone wants
That's true.
what the story was
He was here.
published.
Thank you, Mr. Chapman. Mr. Chapman. Planning board report. Nothing heard? Okay.
Nothing
All right.
from the fire department.
Nothing from the fire department. All right. Roads report. Mr.
Nothing
Corson.
from road reports either.
At least he showed up. All right.
Yeah. No, there ain't much going on right now, just, trying to keep the salt shed filled up and, keep an eye on that, and pretty soon I will be going around, starting on the budget.
Okay.
Seeing what culverts I need to change next year and
Yeah.
getting all that going.
We attempted to have a roads committee meeting on the 10th, but we didn't have a quorum. So we are gonna try to attempt to do that again after the new year, like in the first week or so.
A roads committee quorum.
Yeah,
Okay.
we didn't have,
Okay.
yeah, we only had, it was just, Dan Perron and Zach Grimm were the only roads committee people at the meeting until we were pretty much getting ready to leave. David Bragg showed up, but he'd been out plowing or whatever, so we just decided we would wait and try to do another one.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. What was the date?
I don't have a date.
Okay.
We don't have a date picked out yet. We're hoping like the first week or so of January. So the two major topics are how do we get Sean or whoever the road commissioner is in the future, get them started first thing in the spring with monies rather than sit on taxpayer money for an entire winter. How do we get them started? How can we get him started like when the roads are, when the frost is gone and things can be going? It doesn't matter if we have an annual town meeting in June or if we have it in August like it used to be or whatever. There's still like an overlap. We're either carrying taxpayer money all winter long in anticipation for spring repairs, or
We're waiting.
either way we're waiting. So we're trying to figure out like how we can actually go about, like if May 1st is go time for Sean and he can get to work, how do we get a project started, and also be able to utilize that to get bids for things like get on people's radars for tar and pavement and all that stuff, so we're not waiting until first week of November to pave a road. So that his budget, we haven't gone over that completely, but we kind of just feel like it's gonna try to ride it out at the same budget for the next 3 to 5 years and continue with pavement, etc. A lot of roads have never been top coated; they've been base coated and just left. It's supposed to be top coated within a year or two for the first one, and then every 5 to 7 years is what DOT really recommends. Inside of a 10-year period, you're going back and top coating all these roads. So all the roads that we have that are in decent shape really should be top coated again. They should have been done long before now. So the question has been, you know, do we top coat Bonnie next year, or do we let that settle for a year since it was done so late in the fall as it was? Top coat however many miles of road we can on the other roads that have been done, and then top coat Bonnie in 27. So those are some of the three highlights of what we really want to get nailed down. So yeah.
When, how would it be beneficial for you? What is your, if you got what you want and well, I should say, if you had a budget predetermined so that in the wintertime you could be working out contracts for who's gonna do what?
That would be good.
What date would you wanna be ready to say, is there like a date, let's say like, I'm just gonna throw a number out, February 15th, where you say by February 15th, I'm gonna have work plans starting May 1st or whatever it is. Is there something like that that would be beneficial for you? Like, when do you need to know? If you wanted to plan ahead like that, so you can actually utilize the summer.
As far as maintenance and all that, that's no big deal, I can work with that, but as far as getting paving crews and stuff,
Yeah,
early enough, I need to know what I have for money,
yeah.
so I can get them
exactly,
coming
yeah.
in.
So when would you wanna know by?
It'd be nice to know now,
Okay,
anytime,
Okay.
really.
yeah. No, it makes sense to me. I'm asking for your benefit.
Probably because once the new year's, I'll probably start in asking, what's it gonna be to pay Gammon Road? I'm gonna start in getting estimates. Yeah, and then I really can't tell them yay and nay
Yeah,
until
'cause
we
you don't
know
know.
what we have for money.
Yeah,
Right. You can't commit to we're gonna do this
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we don't know what the
April, May would be really good to know what I had,
yeah. And so it's
to
really comes
schedule
down
them
to
in.
what do we think is best? Do we move the town meetings, or do we just have a year that we budget for let's say 18 months instead of 12 months? We budget for 18 months so that we can get to a point where Sean can get started now for next spring. Obviously not happening this year,
Right.
you know, but 2027.
Yeah, that is the question. So the taxpayers give us the authority to use 3/12, which would be
Yeah.
which would be just about a road project. It'd be roughly 110 to 115,000
Well,
bucks.
we're figuring on about 105 to 110 for regular maintenance every year.
Right.
And then we just gotta figure the paving.
For a major road project.
But like right now, I need, I'm gonna need probably 70 to 100,000 to get Gammon Road up to pave.
Yeah.
I ain't really, I'm just throwing a number out, but I know through the straightaway, I'm gonna have to put a lot of gravel, cause I gotta build that up, that always floods.
Yeah.
Those are metal culverts, I'm probably gonna have to replace them culverts. It ain't gonna be nowhere near the work that I had to do on Bonnie Road, but it's still gonna represent some money.
And so that just puts us in a position where do we make Gammon well and good, or do we top coat Bonnie? Cause I'm sure top coating all of Bonnie Road is gonna be a significant project too.
Well, actually, I think, it's about 50,000 a mile to top coat, so it's quite a bit cheaper.
Yeah. So what would that be?
Yeah, we're committed on
150,000 just to, you know,
Just
do
a top
that.
coat, yeah.
But we've got that paved now, top priority is Gammon this year.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're pretty much committed to Gammon at this point
Yeah.
from grinding it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's essentially what the plan has been, was to grind that one in Gammon, cause we got a good deal on that, and then get Bonnie squared away, base coat Gammon Road, and then we were thinking top coat Bonnie Road, but if it makes more sense if the budget gets approved of, you know, say $400,000 for paving and road work, not just maintenance, the maintenance is another line item. So if that's what gets approved, then, you know, do we end up, you know, top coating 2 or 3 miles of other roads in town, and then do top coat Bonnie Road and Gammon the following year, so we're, you know, we're not letting those fall by the wayside and just leave
Yeah.
them base coated like a lot of these other roads are in town, but.
It'd be terrible if something happened to Bonnie Road after putting all that work into it.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but I think it would do it good just to let it settle in for 1 year and then do it the following. Because you take, Sumner Hill, I mean, I got grass growing up in the middle of it right now, and it's a beautiful road. But after this year here, it's really gonna open up. The cracks are getting bigger every year. That's why it needs to be top coated. If not, we're gonna lose it.
Yeah, yep, agreed.
So that's it. I don't wanna say the issue I have, but the problem with doing like an 18-month budget is we're gonna be sitting on
No, I
a
think
couple $100,000 of the taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
That's just, which if, interest rates are good and we can actually make some money off of it, I guess that'd be one thing as far as putting into like a CD or something. And so we're not just sitting on it and it's just sitting there idle, but
Yeah.
we've also increased the taxes significantly for that time. I don't know what the best scenario is.
But if we could keep the budget just the way it's going right now, I think we can cover some ground.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I think what you said was three,
The
basically a
3/12,
quarter,
yeah, it's a
3/12,
quarter,
a
yeah.
quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we need to bring that to a vote. Would that be a town meeting or would that be, do we have to change the?
100% sure.
Typically, that is a warrant, or it's the warrant article on the annual town warrant.
Right. Right,
It would be.
they give us authority
Yeah.
to expend 3/12 of the budget.
Okay. All right, ACO report?
You
Nothing.
have it
I have it.
Yep. after roads.
Oh, it's on the back. It's me every time.
Yeah, I didn't have my tabs.
All right. Mr. Holmes writes, October 2025. Note summary. Multiple calls involved strays or loose livestock and pets, including goats, dogs, and cats. Several incidents were involved without enforcement after animals were located, returned home, or determined not to be at large. A significant neglect and welfare concern emerged on Barrows Road. Reports detailed unsafe living conditions, lack of utilities, serious health concerns, and the inability to adequately care for a large number of felines and livestock. The officer coordinated with Adult Protective Services, conducted repeated welfare checks, facilitated the surrender of 12 felines, and delivered food to support animals remaining on site while placement options were pursued. A repeat loose canine where corrective actions were taken by the owner, and the matter was referred to the district attorney for review. Intake of a stray feline into a shelter, investigation of a reported animal cruelty concern that proved unfounded, the documentation of a citizen handled trapping situation. Attendance at the Maine Humane Conference to fulfill continuing education requirements. November 2025, note summary. The welfare situation on Barrows Road intensified, with reports of animal hoarding conditions observed firsthand. The officer documented poor living conditions, a high number of felines, and safety concerns, including the presence of a space heater amid unsanitary conditions. Follow-up welfare checks confirmed the occupant intend to surrender all remaining felines, prompting continued coordination for placement and monitoring. A sick and injured kitten case required extensive guidance to the owner regarding emergency veterinary care and voucher procedures. One incident involved an allegation of unauthorized livestock sale, which was resolved through intermunicipal coordination when the animals were returned voluntarily.
I was a little.
What?
I don't follow that one.
One incident involving an allegation of unauthorized livestock sale.
Someone sold somebody's livestock.
Someone sold somebody else's livestock.
Ah.
And then brought them back.
Unauthorized.
And then the person who
It was stolen.
bought them, I think, brought them back.
Yeah, so your wife gets goats, you don't like the goats, you sell the goats, that's unauthorized. That type of situation.
Okay.
Not saying that. Okay. Alright. Alright, thank you, Mr. Holmes. Forms, reports, correspondence? Nothing. New business? Nothing. Old business?
I mean, I could put up the signs again, but I didn't, I mean, our speed limit signs still haven't been changed, but.
On, in front of the school?
That's supposed to be on the 16th to the 19th there or something like that.
I don't know. We did get an email from the DOT saying that they were going to do it, so there was at least that step.
Okay. If we don't hear anything by mid-January, reach out, I guess, and say,
Yeah.
you know, it's Christmas time, I'm sure holiday season, I'm sure DOT's busy. Upcoming events, Board of Appeals meeting, January 2nd, 2025 at 6 p.m.
Oh, 26, sorry. 2026, we're in.
2026.
Sorry. Same on the next one.
You could have just blamed that on me.
No.
Joint Planning Board and Select Board meeting, January 6th, 2026
Thank you.
at 6 p.m. Rabies Clinic, January 31st, 2026. Well done. 10 a.m. to noon. Does that cost anything?
Yes, it does.
$20,
It's
right?
$20 for the vaccine and
Okay.
then,
$20.
$6
6
if
or
you're,
11.
yeah, $6 if your animal's fixed, 11 if it's not.
Do you have to, do people have to sign up for that ahead of time?
No.
Bring them in.
And they will do cats also, if somebody,
It does
if
need
they're
to
not to
be,
have a rabies shot.
cash or checks only for the rabies vaccine. The licensing, we can use the card machine as well, so.
Because that's through our town, right?
Yes,
Okay. Alright,
and it will be in the fire department this year.
okay. Notices, office will be closed December 24th and 25th, December 31st, and January 1st. Okay. Alright, well with that, we've concluded our business. Now we move to adjourn to executive session for personal matters pursuant to 1 MRSA subsection 405(6) alpha. Review of financial statements for November 2025 will take place immediately following that. Any questions? We
No questions.
make a motion to enter into executive session.
I will second that motion.
Alright. We will now move into executive session. Thank you very much.
Have a good.
Alright, we are now exiting executive session. And I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting as of 8:05 on 23 December 2025.
Second it.
Alright. All in favor? Alright, meeting's adjourned.